What are we going to do today? I have 3 of these Frosties. Frosties, remember, was the variegated version of the Chinese Elm. And, well, I think you've seen the one over here to my left, and this one too. I'm not sure whether you've seen this one, but it's only been like less than a month, and the one on my left has grown back. And all of these will do the same thing. Yesterday, we had one of our record heats for time of the year. We're at the tail end of March, and we were past 90 degrees. Well, what happens with elms, they love the heat, so they just grow like crazy. So today, what I'm gonna do is trim these back. Okay, quick review about Chinese elms, how they grow. So they grow like this, and these are called the alternate pattern. So if you cut right here, then the new shoot will go this way. If you want it to go this direction, you cut like that. So all you have to do is to think in terms of the base of the leaf, and that's where the new shoot will come out. So that's what we're going to do with the rest of the tree. Here is growing on the trunk, so they get removed completely. And we just go in and prune. Just have to do a lot of them because they grow so fast. See this one right here? It's going almost straight up, just gets cut back. Generally, we don't leave anything on the trunk unless we're trying to develop a new branch. Oh, this one here is the same thing. That's better. It really doesn't matter whether you make a mistake or not. Within weeks, you'll come back. But it's a good habit to get into, prune it correctly when you have time. In my case, sometime I do, sometime I don't. I think I might have used the electric clipper on this already, maybe a couple weeks ago. But those are sort of the necessary evils of owning a business. Okay, we don't need this dangling down, so let's find a spot, something like that. And just keep pruning. This is looking better. Now you could actually see the shapes and most of the trunk. So this is the other side. I'm not sure which is the front, actually. You know, funny thing is, when I'm shooting these, it looks fine. And then when I get around to editing, it's like, why is that branch still there? So yes, it's not always easy to do everything yourself, but I think you get. Okay, this one here, I think if you've been following me, this is the one I did probably less than a month ago. I took it out of the mica pot and put it in this blue pot. Well, at that time it was trimmed and it looks like it needs trimming again. And that's kind of the story behind the Chinese elms. This one being the Frosty is slightly different, but the growth habit is identical. So I'll go ahead and trim this one out again. This one here is shot up in this very short time. So what we're going to do is cut to almost the base, leave 1 or 2 leaves, and cut them like that. If you like pruning, I think I've said it before, Chinese elm is the one. So those of you that just got yourself a really nice set of pruners, go get an elm. It doesn't have to be Frosty, but any kind of elm will grow like crazy. Hey, I think this is good for now. You'll probably need pruning again in a couple weeks, definitely by a couple months. Here's that third one. Actually, we can't even tell where the front is at this point. But same thing, just grew like crazy, so I'm gonna cut it back. Well, now I remember what I had. Yep, this is a nice one. But the way it had grown in, couldn't tell what I had. So, this is what I have. Yeah, I was doing this kind of fancy thing with the branch. So, this is what I had. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this chapter. This was the 3 Frosty, or the variegated Chinese elm. Messages from one of my followers. He's from Las Vegas, and he said that my soil mix works well in Las Vegas. Lockdown will end one of these days when it's safe. You know, I love Vegas. I don't gamble at all, but the dynamics, or the excitement of the city, I really like that. Now they have shows and they have eating places, but you know, we found that we have some favorite places that's not on the high end or famous, but they're very good, what I call comfort food. So hopefully that they'll still be there when we get back. And well, what I do, I love that Villaggio because of the garden. But I've also been following what's happening with the outdoor plants. And in the city center, I have seen Japanese black pines in a very large container thriving. So hopefully all of you are staying safe, and hopefully that we'll get through this tough period. And I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. So this is Hero saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. So these were the 3 Frosty elms.